Good morning. How are you? Thank you for waiting so patiently for me to get these set up. So my seminar is going to consist of a really quick, just talk about textures and colors, ow, and fall into planters that I've made, of what we can put together for the fall season, thinking outside the box and outside of the ordinary. So basically it's going to be 30 seconds of that. That'll be the seminar, and then we can go ahead and make and take. Sound good? Saturday morning, long Friday night. I'm kidding. It's going to be a little bit longer than that. Okay. So first of all, for those of you who don't know me and haven't been to one of my seminars before, my name's Kimberly. Hi, nice to meet you. I own a local custom landscape design and install business. We're very, very different from any other company out there in that we do custom designs for all of our customers. So I don't show up with a book that says, okay, this is package A, this is package B, and this is package C. This is what you can get, and that's what you're paying. We work with all of our clients to create something custom and unique. We do planters by season. We do very little maintenance, and the maintenance we do provide is hands-on. So we're not the come in and spray and blow all the stuff underneath your hedges and make more of a mess. We actually do it by hand. But predominantly, we are a design install business. So what I wanted to bring to you today is something different that Busy Bee hasn't offered before. We've never done a make and take, from what I understand. I wanted to start introducing that so you guys can come away with something and do something hands-on. All of these are for sale. We've got all the prices together, so if you love what I've put together and you want to purchase the pot and the grouping, the plants, they are available. You just got to see Tina at the back and she'll bring you up. And they are not planted in soil right now. You could either take a picture of the grouping and do it yourself at home, or we can plant it up for you, load it into your vehicle, and you can take care of it then. And I believe they do deliveries here. So if it's something that's too big to fit into your car that you have today, we can definitely arrange for a delivery for you. Okay? So one of the things that I wanted to talk about is the idea that I'm sure all of you have heard. When you're doing a planter, you want to focus on three things: the thriller, the filler, and the spiller. Easy way to do it. If you have those three things, you're going to have success in your planter. Push the boundaries. When you're thinking of the thriller, it doesn't have to be a plant. It can be a garland. You want to think about proportion. When you're doing your filler, you don't want all of your plant material right here, and then you have this big, long, wide, tall pot, and then all of it squat plant material. You need something to draw your eye upwards. You want it to balance height with the height of the pot as well. So you can use a garland. I've just staked it and wired it onto a bamboo stake. If you choose a natural colored bamboo stake, it also adds to the beauty of the pot as well. And then all I've done is wrap it around the base of it, and it just adds a different texture. Think about texture. Texture is the biggest thing that you're going to have the best success with your planters. Don't go for all things that are spiky. And what I mean by spiky is they grow like this. They have the same type of flower plume where it sits all like this. So what I refer to as spiky would be these snapdragons, if I can get it out. The snapdragons and salvia, a completely different plant. It's a spiky flower. You don't want to mix two of them together because, I mean, you can, but you don't typically want to, because you want something different, something to contrast, not to lose each other within the planting. So you want to contrast something with some texture. If you're going with spiky, then think of something that's got a wider leaf. For example, I'm trying to think of the sweet potato. There's all kinds of different sweet potatoes that are absolutely gorgeous. So that some of them have that tri-lobed. I'm not going to pull it out here because then the whole thing will fall apart. But they have the tri-lobed type of the sweet potato. They've got the ones that are the heart shaped. There's the plum colors. There's the dark, almost black colors, which I believe I have one here. This one right here. It's a dark purple, almost black color. There's some beautiful chartreuse ones. So that would be a nice wide shape that would contrast with the spiky. You can contrast fine textures. So this is a much finer leaf. I would say this is probably a fine to medium shaped leaf that you definitely could contrast with the wider leaf of the trailing plant that you put in. Push yourself in color wise. Don't think that you have to do all red. If you want to do a monochrome pot, you can. Choose your colors of red. Pink is red. Pink is literally red plus white, so they will go together. A lot of people think, oh, I can't put pink with red. Those two clash. I was told that all the way from when I was this high. You can put pink with red. You can put pink with orange. Those go very, very well together. Think about the most important thing is choose your color palette to begin with. Warm colors go with warm colors. Cool colors go with cool colors. You mix them all together in one, and you have something called the dog's breakfast. That's what I was taught in college. I had this instructor in college that when we did our annual design learning, those classes, she would say, okay, well, you have thousands of plant material that you can choose from. Focus on your color palette first, because if not, then it's going to look like the dog's breakfast. And I have driven by some of the properties where they've picked, oh, I have 50 different plants that I love. I'm going to throw them all together in a garden. It's going to be amazing. You lose the focus of the garden. You lose the prettiness of the color palette that you're working with. So the most important thing is choose your color palette first, okay? It is okay to have something cooler texture. So these are all warm colors for the most part. This I would borderline as a cool color. This I would borderline as cool color because it is a blue-green of the roux. And this, because it's purple, it could either go one way or the other. Purple is technically a cool color, but because it's so dark and almost black, it would fit in the warm color textures. Think about your light. You can push boundaries a little bit with your light parameters. Things that are normally full sun, you don't want to mix with full shade plants because you're going to sacrifice something on it. Either you're going to lose the blooms, they're going to grow long and leggy, they're not going to flower as much for you. So if you have a full sun setting that you're looking for, really take into care that you can use part shade to full sun. Full shade, make sure that you stay with full shade plants. So for example, this is a really good example of full shade plants. This one you can put on your porch where the sun's not hitting it. I wish I could lift this up. I'm not that strong anymore. So you're welcome to come up afterwards and come take a look. But I've contrasted the dark of the black ZZ. This plant, you can't kill it. I literally have 2 in my house that I don't think I've watered in 7 weeks. And it's doing amazing. And the great thing is it's a water purifier and will grow with no light at all. My daughter actually has one in her room, and she has it on the furthest part away from the light. So in theory, it can taste the light, but it's not actually getting any, and it does amazing. The ivies are gorgeous. I'm from Niagara Falls, Ontario originally. Ivies are phenomenal up here. Down here, we kind of fight with them a little bit. They are beautiful, but they are susceptible to whitefly, scale. So you got to be a little bit careful with them, and you can spray them with neem oil to keep them under control. The Hoyas are beautiful. They just add that different texture. I chose a curly Hoya. And Hoyas, I don't know if everybody knows this, but they all flower, and the flowers have different scents to them. Some of them are vanilla. Some of them taste like, don't eat them. They're poisonous. Some of them are caramel scented. There are 30 or 40 different types of Hoyas, and Tina has a whole bunch of them available in the shade house. But they're absolutely stunning. They're a trailing plant. They'll send out that long, almost like an aerial root, and then all of a sudden you have this waxy like flower that opens up, and the scent is incredible. You can use things like cork bark for your thriller. You can add this in. It just adds that little bit of extra texture that nobody else would put in there because I like to do things different. And then you can take it out and put orchids on it. Attach your Phalaenopsis into it. Phalaenopsis will go full sun to full shade. There's other orchids that you could put in full shade. You could even mount one on there if you want to add a different texture on here as well. One of the big things that I have to caution people when I do my planters, I'm not thinking about ultimate grow size. This copperleaf, 6 feet tall by 6 feet wide. It's not meant to stay forever in a planter. It's meant to give us that pizzazz and that wow factor this time of the year. The pentas, all of these are perennials. All of these could go on the ground. The petunias are borderline perennial. I have one that I have in an outside pot that's been in there for 2 years. I can't kill it. I never water it. It's under a bamboo and it grows as it grows, but it is technically a perennial. So all of these can go in the ground, which I like to do. I like to pull things that are not just annuals into my planters. So if I have a space in my garden afterwards, oh, hey, now I got a plant that I can put in here as dual purpose. I didn't just throw my money away on a planter. Adding your sprays. Michael's is a great place to go and visit, especially now they got stuff on sale. I have some stuff on the table that are available for you guys that I have extra from when I was putting the fall planters together for people. Don't be afraid to add stuff like that to it. You can add cute little whimsical things like the pumpkins. On one of them, I have the little mushrooms. So obviously something like this that's felt, when it gets exposed to the moisture or the rain, it's going to go a little bit moldy. So this one I would put little protected, more protected. So this would be great on a porch that has shade to part sun. Okay. And that's pretty much my spiel, is just talking about the thriller, the filler, and the spiller. So you can have beautiful, full, amazing containers when you take into color and texture, balancing all those out together. And if you ever have any questions, I have cards up here. You can give me a call and say, help, does this plant go with this plant? Can you come help me? I'd love to. We are going to do a make and take here, so we have lots of different options. If you brought your own container, fabulous. We have soil to fill them with. We have selection of plants. You're not limited to these plants here. You just have to work out with Tina. If you're going to grab something from the garden center, you need to talk to one of her crew to make sure that they're aware of what you've pulled. We've got 2 sets of tables set up here. We have available real terracotta pots. We have the plastic terracotta pots, and then we have the grower pots. All of them are available. If you want to choose something from their amazing selection of glazed pottery, you can go and grab something from there. Or, like I said, these are all available as well. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Oh, I thought I was going to get away with none. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. You can do it one of many ways. You can take that and set it in and hope to heck that it fits in the planter. What I've done in these, I literally took grower pots and put them underneath, and that would work. You fill the empty space below with grower pots just to fill the bottom space, and then you can plunk one of those in. Those, I wouldn't necessarily do the black pot displayed on its own, but the plastic and the terracotta ones are pretty just to set out on their own. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Anything to fill that space. So something like this, especially because we have full-size shrubs, they need a little bit more. You definitely want to give them a couple inches underneath the pot so the roots can push through. Yeah. Yeah, and if you are using water bottles or filler pots, definitely put landscape fabric on top of it. Otherwise, all that soil is just going to wash out underneath, and then the plants will have no soil. Yes. I You can. I personally, I don't use a filler. I actually, if I'm using a pot, we put gravel in the bottom just for drainage, then we layer a piece of landscape fabric, and then fill the rest with soil. I don't like using the pots because eventually they are going to break down and they're going to collapse, and then your plants are going to not look so pretty, like they're going to settle. But you can absolutely use grower pots. Like I said, I just stuck them in there for the purpose of sticking them in there. Yes, ma'am. Okay, so I don't always know the common names of things because I'm a plant nerd a little bit, and I know the botanical. Tina, the common name of a Hoya, is it porcelain plant? Because of the flowers? We've always known it as Hoya. I think wax flower is another name for it. I've never. Are they? I've never heard it called a porcelain flower. I have no issues with them at all. None. So Hoyas do not like regular water. I let mine at home dry out for 2 weeks before I give it a good drink, and then let it dry out for 2 weeks, and they'll be so happy. If you overwater them, they're going to rot. If Yes, they don't like full blazing hot sun. They will burn out. If you have them inside and you have the UV protecting windows, you can put them in full in the window, and they'll be fine. Okay? Yes.
So just to clarify, so are you suggesting you can do this one of two ways? You can either plant the plants in the pot, or if you're doing it short term, you can just put some dirt underneath. You can leave them in their pots and let them grow through the pots. Did I hear that?
If you are short term wanting to change it up, like extra want to even if you're going for a full season, I wouldn't leave them in the pots. They're not going to be happy. They're going to struggle. They're going to start getting root bound in the pots. If you are short term, like you're here, I have some clients that are only here for literally Thanksgiving week. and they want this done. So I would just leave them in the pots. It's not going to hurt them. But if you're several weeks, they're going to be a lot happier and perform better for you if you take them out and actually plant them in soil. Okay? Yes, ma'am. Yep. All the time. All the time. So we have, this is one of my favorites, the ornamental kale. I asked Tina to special order some of these in for you guys. These, I love them. Up north, they do amazing. I actually trialed one last year. I bought some from Tina here last year. It lasted for 5 months, and it probably would have gone longer, but then I decided to change my planters at home. But it ended up getting this long stalk on it. It'll lose the lower leaves on it, but the heads on them grow to about this big. And there's some that are this beautiful green and variegated color. There's some that have purple and pink tones in them. I'm not sure. I think you just have the green ones. Okay. But they are a stunning, amazing textural plant, and they're edible. Kale's good for you. The rue is technically an edible plant. I'm a little leery of rue because when I was in horticulture school, I got 3rd-degree burns because the sap in rue can be very treacherous, so you got to be a little careful. It's not the sap itself, it's when you get the sap on you and then go out in the sun, it'll blister. So you got to be a little bit careful of that. I love using thyme as trailers. Thyme's amazing. It's not going to last long term. It definitely is not going to last in the ground down here. It'll just melt out. It gets a fungus because it's too much humidity and moisture. But as a trailing plant, they are amazing. And then you can come out when you're hungry and cooking with it and take a little snip and add it into your food. The fennel, beautiful airy texture. I love using fennel, and the fennel, this one right here. Okay. Yeah. If I keep spraying mine with neem oil, there is something that constantly eats it, and they also don't like a whole lot of fennel. You need that balance. They don't like a whole lot of water because then they rot out. But if they get too dry, then the leaves turn yellow and they fall off. So that's more of a short-term one. I've done planters that are, bless you, I've done planters that are complete and total herb planters for fall. And then I add in the sprigs just to give a little bit of texture difference and color difference and whimsy. I've done some where I've incorporated vegetables in there too. The ornamental peppers are amazing planter options.
So
And
I
they're,
don't hear you talk about water as far as I'm always afraid that I'm going to have one plant in there that needs a lot of water, and I have to look all that up before I put one next to the other because you can kill one and
absolutely. So typically I do pay attention to that as well. If you notice, there are no succulent plants in here. If you want to do a succulent planter, you absolutely can. Succulents are cactuses and crown of thorns and stuff like that that need less water. These, once a week, good deep drink, and they'll be fine. Do not have it on a water irrigation system that is going to run every day. Twice a week this time of the year would be okay too. If the one thing you have to take into consideration is even in a pot, the entire root system is exposed to the elements. So they get a lot hotter, they get drier, but just keep an eye on it. Your plants will tell you when they're thirsty. They'll start to wilt and limp a little bit. You generally will have one that's an indicator plant that if it's starting to flag or wilt a little bit, it's saying, okay, you know what? Me and my brothers and sisters in here need a little bit of a water, so give us a drink. Okay? Yes.
since that kind of heat production could be an issue for the planter, or can you tell us, does terracotta lessen it a bit than ceramic or?
No. None of them are obviously the darker colors are going to draw the heat more, but all of them, if they're in blazing hot sun, just like if you step out on your patio and you can't walk out with bare feet, the same thing with these. You can put your hand on the pot and it's going to be quite warm. Mostly they'll be okay. They're not going to be burned out. It is a challenge no matter whether you're here or up north in Canada. You're still going to have that challenge with the full sun in the pots, but they'll thrive. You can't plant them and walk away and say, "Oh, that's good. It's going to last." You can put artificial plants in if you want that concept. But as long as you talk to your plants and just listen to what their needs are, they're not overly picky. It's not something that you have to be out there every single day and say, "Okay, well, what do you need today? Is it coffee time? Let's have some coffee. I need to water you 16 times a day." Once or twice a week with a good deep drink of water should be fine with them. Okay?